Yeah, it was a really good week for us. We got tested in a lot of different areas in the game. Heading to Rice on the Thursday was our first road trip in 5. We opened up the road trip at McNeese for the first game of the year, which was a successful trip. But that first one was the one where we had to actually go and stay the night before. So it was nice to see the preparations and see how we got prepared for a high-level opponent such as Rice. And we got tested. I think we went up in the game 1-0. They fought back and scored a wonderful free kick. So it was really interesting to see the group and see how they would respond to that and how they acted, how they performed under pressure, how they were resilient to that moment. I thought was really good. We came back and we took the lead 2-1 and then gave up another good goal to tie the game. But after that moment, we still had the foot down. We still put pressure on them. We still created some more chances. I think we were unlucky not to get a win on the road, which is always what you look for. But I think leaving with a point there after having a lead twice and then them coming back, for us not to crumble under that moment, was really good. Moving into the LSU game on the Sunday, we knew we were going to get tested. I think that the team and the athletes went in with a game plan and they bought into it wholeheartedly. And they bought into it so well that we took an early lead. We didn't expect to get the chance we got earlier on. We thought that would come a little bit later. Thought we were going to have to frustrate them, but we had a great opportunity. Bailey Giddens got on the ball and played Meg Bradley into the channel. And she went 1v1 inside the box and created an opportunity for Lucy to score the first goal against LSU that this program scored. And it was a great finish. Really proud of Lucy for taking the finish the way she did. And it just left us an opportunity where we had to kind of not see out the game, but we had to defend a little bit more than what we wanted to for a large majority of the game. I think we frustrated them. We compacted and condensed the central areas. We made them take chances from areas that they specifically didn't want to take chances from. And I think that frustrated them going into the half. And then coming into the second half, it's a brand new game. They changed a lot of things. They changed their shape. They changed how they pressed. They changed how they wanted to attack. And we had to kind of adapt on the fly with that, something that we didn't do. So we actually played a system that we hadn't played before. And I thought the athletes done really, really well with it. The next 2 goals were really unfavourable, but that's part of the game. And the big area that we thought we were going to get challenged in was how do we respond when we went down a goal, and we didn't respond well. And that's what we spoke about after the game. It's a huge opportunity for us to learn. We gave up a goal immediately afterwards. We know teams now are going to scout that and look at it and say that's where you can get them. That's their Achilles heel. So we'll need to be very, very diligent in our preparations from the future here on out to make sure we respond better in those moments.
So not only, of course, leading up to the LSU game wasn't necessarily tested as much as she was Sunday night. In that early going in that contest, what were some of the things you were seeing? Because it looked like initially they were coming after her a lot.
Yeah, she was unbelievable. If anyone saw the 9 saves that she made, the 9 saves she made, they weren't catch in practice. She made some top saves, and she was heroic back there last night. I think that's what gave us a bit of confidence. The early saves she made earlier on to tip it over the bar, and then once we got the 1-0 lead, big save again afterwards to keep us in the game. I think she done tremendously well. There was a save in the second half, diving off the header to her right, that was just an unbelievable save. She took off and she spread herself and made a great save. And I think that she came up in the big moments that we knew she could do, and she held it together for us.
Oh, you did mention about the response in the LSU game, but last week you talked about one of the things you were looking for was cohesion. Overall, between the 2 games, do you feel that you noticed that cohesion that you were looking for?
Yeah, we sensed it and we felt it for large majorities of both games. I would say we felt it through the whole of the Rice game. The only time that it took a little bit of a shake was when we went down 2-1 against LSU, because there was just that lack of voice to step up and to seize that moment. Who was the person that was going to stand up and pull us back together a little bit? And we just missed that. But that's the first time this group had went down a goal for this year. It's something we hadn't done since last year. Obviously, there's a lot of new faces on the team. It was a completely different situation as well. So it's a moment for us to learn and nothing for us to be ashamed of. It's a good learning experience. We can't get better if we don't make mistakes. And we made a mistake there, but we certainly won't make that again.
You mentioned you were kind of excited to see how your team was going to be tested with these 2 tough opponents that you played this last week, and they were defensively. So what does it look like for you going back now, looking at the film? Are you kind of excited to see, hey, look, we haven't really been tested this far. This is what I see. This is what we can improve on.
Absolutely. We went back and watched it last night after the game, actually. And as good as we defended in both games, Rice took 2 unbelievable goals. Free kick and a shot from outside the box that were fantastic. LSU's volley from outside the box was great as well. The penalty was well struck. And even our error on the third goal, it was hit over the goalkeeper's head from 30, 35 yards. They're all really, really good goals. We didn't give up any errors, but there's still a lot of things in there that we can adjust and get better on. And that's what's beautiful about it, is how well we defended. We still made a lot of mistakes. And if we get better from that, that's huge progress for us.
And to kind of piggyback off that, what are some positives you've seen with the big test, especially LSU Sunday night?
I think that we executed a game plan. So going into Rice, we threw something new at them again on how we would have to prepare for a high-level opponent on the road, and they executed it to perfection. We then spoke after the game of, this is the level that we need to be at. This is the preparation. This is the resilience. This is the determination. This is the hard work that we need. We got to let our character show in games. And I think our character came out on Sunday. And that's where we went in 1-0 at halftime. We just got to learn through those moments in the second half. So I think we saw everything that we needed to see. And now the process is putting it in place, learning from it and growing.
You mentioned how proud you were when Lucy got that goal at LSU. Can you kind of talk about what you've seen with her so far this year as a whole?
It's got to be 3 years for me. Lucy, we started her outside back as a defender, and she became captain probably in the first couple of months of me being here. It was evident the kind of person that she was. She's naturally just a leader. She has charisma. She is very, very competitive. And it's someone for the last 2 years that we needed to play on the back line to kind of lock down our defense a little bit. She's definitely more of an attacking player. She is very creative. She's very free-flowing. And to see her put in the work for her teammates over the last 2 years and play a position that she doesn't play, to then come into this year and to see her have 3 goals already through the 7-8 games that we've played so far, it's just a testament to her character. And what she can do for this team. And I'm really proud of her. It's what she deserves. And hopefully we can continue play the way we're playing and give her and her fellow seniors a good senior year.
Your team's taken 126 shots through 8 matches. I'd venture to say last year after 8 matches, you were probably about half that. How gratifying is it that it's your team that's putting the pressure on?
It's really good progress, and that's all we're looking for. We're not looking for perfection. We're just looking for progress. We have to get better every game. There's got to be an area that we improve on, whether it's a win, a draw, or a loss. So we've been looking at in this non-conference schedule, and even with these last 2 games, it's about creating opportunities, right? Once we get into conference, we have to be a bit more clinical because you're not going to get as many opportunities. Every game's like a cup final. But right now, it's just being able to create the opportunities. Obviously, Rice and LSU, we're going to create different opportunities, and the quantity wasn't going to be as many as it had been in the past. So how selective are we in those moments? We capitalize on Rice, we capitalize on our 1 at LSU. So again, if we can lock some things down and not make some errors moving through the rest of the season, I feel very confident about what this team can do this year.
Conference play is around the corner. What are you looking to see out of your team? What are some improvements you're looking for before jumping into conference play?
To handle the difficult moments a little bit better. Again, the response after giving up that second goal, we can't have that moving into conference play. Texas State went on the road and tied Oklahoma State, who were 13th in the nation, 0-0. They're always very competitive. They're very athletic. So again, it's going to be a similar type mindset when you get into that game with Texas State, is they're going to bring the competition. They're very competitive. They bring a lot of energy from their bench and their coaching staff. So it's something that we're going to have to handle those moments a little bit better, especially right from the very goal with Texas State.
And as you guys are heading toward to Lamar with a chance to bounce back, what are some of the things you guys have to look out for when taking on Lamar?
The weather. Well, Lamar are a great team. They've won the Southland Conference, I think, for the last 3 years. They play some really good soccer. They're athletic. They've got some pieces that can really cause you problems, especially if you sit off them a little bit. They play at a very similar style to us. I think that's where they've caused us problems in the last 2 years. So one of the big things about us this year is we've got our pieces in the right position this year, and we've got Lucy in a more attacking role. We've got Haley Waterhouse in the right position. We've got people in the right position for us to play a higher level of soccer. So hopefully we can go there on the road and not take a back foot. We still need to be on the front foot. We still need to be relentless. We need to push forward and take the game to them, even if it's at their home field. And we need to make sure we're creating our own opportunities.
Since you mentioned the weather, how is that, if any, impacting your preparations for this week?
Yeah, it doesn't. It's something we can't control, right? If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, we're still going to go about our preparations and the things that we can control. We're going to make sure tactically we're ready, mentally we're ready, physically we're ready. If the game goes ahead, great. If the game doesn't go ahead, then we'll regroup, refocus, and get ready for Sunday's game.